Hey guys, so today's goal is that you can resolve problems involving division of fractions and multiplication. So this is our review day before your actual assessment on multiplying and dividing fractions. What we need to do at this point is that if you have any questions about anything that you're not sure about, that you ask your teacher. Because there are so many standards that you're still maybe not sure about, then you need to have that time with your teacher to make sure that you do. Now, remember, when we are multiplying and dividing fractions, we are looking at certain common patterns. So in these common patterns, we have learned, for example, that when I say 3 divided by 5, I'm also saying that the answer is 3/5. This number becomes your numerator and this second number becomes your denominator, okay? So we also want to make sure that you have that understanding. When we are dividing and I say, well, let's find 1/8 of 16, what I'm saying here is that I have 8 groups. So I need to create 8 groups with my tape diagram. And out of my 8 groups, I'm only looking at one group. Sorry, this is the opposite. One group. So I'm only focusing on what one group has. Then I have to distribute the 16 evenly into all of these. Okay? So once I do that, you will notice that you will have 2 in each. So out of my 8 groups, you will notice that you will have 2 in each. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So hold on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. So you have 16 there. And you're only looking at one group because that's what the number said at the top. So 1/8 of 16 is 2. Now, if the top number, the numerator said, well, what is 3/8? 3/8 of 16, then I would look at 3 groups. Then that's my focus, looking at 3 groups. And all I need to do is now say, well, there is 2, 4, and 6. So 6 is 3/8 of 16. We've also talked about what if you're multiplying a fraction by a whole number. So let's say 4 times 3/8. Okay? So 4 times 3/8. This also could be written as 4/1 times 3/8. Or, because you are adding it 4 times, you could do 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 3/8. All of them will give you the same result. So you can put the 4 with a 1 at the bottom, or you can add them 4 times. Remember, if you add them 4 times, then the denominator is the same, so the denominator stays the same. So this would be 12/8. Now, remember that you will have to simplify that, find the wholes and simplify it at the end, but that is how you would multiply that. In that sense, when you do this, you're also multiplying a fraction here. Remember, when we multiply a fraction by a fraction, you just do 4 times 3 and 1 times 8. So 4 times 3 is 12 and 1 times 8 is 8. So you multiply top by top and bottom by bottom. Simplifying, obviously, at the end. Also, you might find that now you want to divide a fraction by a whole number. So what if I wanted to divide a fraction by a whole number? So now I have 1/3 divided 3. Okay. For some of you, this may look a little more complicated than it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your thirds. You're going to start with thirds. It's only asking you to focus on 1/3. So we're going to focus on the 1/3 and we're going to divide it into 3 pieces. Now, you divided it into 1, 2, and 3 pieces. So 1/3 divided by 3. Now notice that what I did was divide the third into 3 pieces. The same thing is going to happen to the other thirds so that I can see what's happening here. Now the whole turn into more pieces. So I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 pieces. Some people like to think about this as 1 divided 3. Since I'm dividing, this time the top comes to the bottom and this one turns into a 1. So it would be the same as saying 1 and 3 by multiplying it. So if you do your keep, change, and flip, which you should have learned in class. Again, if you're dividing a fraction by a fraction, then it might say 3/4 divided into 1/2. Okay, so if you guys learn your keep, change, and flip, you will know that 3/4 stays the same, keep, change the symbol to multiplication and flip. So flip the 2 to the top and the 1 to the bottom. 2 and 1. And that is 6/4. That will be your answer. Of course, you need to simplify and figure out how many holes are in there, but that's about the process. When you look at models, please make sure to refer to your daily slides. There have been models added for you guys to remember how to identify the models, okay? So if you see something like this, let's see. So you might see something like this. And then you might see something like some circles that divide them. Okay, so in this case, you have 2 holes. So you have 2 holes that are being divided by 2/4. And your answer is the number of circles, 1, 2, 3, 4. So your answer should be 4. Okay, so make sure that you're also looking at those models or when the numbers overlap during multiplication, because that could be a part of your test. Your task today, though, is to go to your Google Classroom, click on the document that is given there, and there is one document called Fractions Review. Once you do this, it has word problems, all kinds of problems, and you can work on this independently or with a partner, depending on what your teacher says, and find the answer to each of these. Once you find the answer, you should be able to do your test just fine tomorrow. So good luck.